All right, boys and girls, let's talk about factoring. Got a lot of factoring stuff we need to get through. Hopefully you have uh, let's see here, there it is, the little flow chart, the graphic organizer, I should say. Anyway, that is really helpful and beneficial on being able to factor correctly. I got those formulas down at the bottom. That's pretty useful. Okay, let's go ahead and woo, excuse me. All right, let's go and get started. Anytime you have, a 1 as a coefficient, we can automatically jump to this step, and then it's just a matter of figuring out what times what makes 6 adds up to -5. So that's going to be -3, -2, call it a day. We're done. The second example, we have the difference of squares here. The reason why I know it's a difference of squares is because we have a square term here, and both of these are also squares. That's 7 squared and 6 squared. So we're just going to plug it in this formula here. So I got 7x plus 6, and then I have 7x minus 6. And, oh, sorry, 6y, 6y. Sorry about that. That's it. That's done. Just take the square root of each part. One's going to be plus, one's going to be minus. Write everything else in there. We'll get to sum and difference of cubes here in a second. The next thing is factoring by grouping. So anytime we have 4 pieces, we got to factor by grouping. So we see what we can take out of the first 2, see what we can take out of the next 2. So out of the first 2, we got x squared, and then I have 3x plus 1. What can I take out of the next 2? A -3. So I'm left with 3x plus 1. If these things don't match at this point, that means we done goofed. But we haven't. So 3x plus 1, once we write it twice, or once we write it, we just need both of them to be able to write it once, rather. So there we go, and then we write the leftovers, x squared minus 3. The next thing, we got SOAP written down there. That's the equation. So our actual problem is the thing in red, y cubed minus 27. So it's a difference of cubes. So we have difference and we have sum of cubes, and we also have the difference of squares. We don't have the sum of squares. We can't do like x squared plus 16. That's not x times, or x plus 4 or x plus 4. That's not right. All right, anyway, so we got difference of cubes. So this is my a, this is my b, so we're just going to follow this formula. So y minus 3, and then we got y squared plus 3y plus 9. We're just following this formula. I know what my a is, I know what my b is. A is y, b is 3, boom, boom, boom. So that was difference of cubes. Sum of cubes works the same way. Number 5. This one's a little tricky, so we're going to kind of take a sidebar here for a second. 5.1 first. This is difference of squares, but it's x squared minus 4 and x squared plus 4. Then from there, we're actually going to factor the left side again, so that's going to be x plus 2 and x minus 2. And then this one we can't factor. Like I said, you can't do sum of squares or something like that. So that is our answer. So we're going to use that same logic here. It's going to be secant squared x plus tangent squared x. And then you probably guessed it, secant squared x minus tangent squared x. Ooh, squared x. That's terrible. Sorry. Tangent squared x. Cool. Then we can break this second part down. So my first part stays the same. And then my other part, we can break that down to secant x minus tan x, secant x plus tan x. I'm going to try and squeeze it in here. Alrighty, that's that one. Example 6 kind of got the same idea with a secondary problem. The only factors of 2 got to be 2 and 1. So I know that my two parts of my answer are 2x and x. Then my only other factors of -1 are 1 and 1. So I know it's got to go 1 here, but one of them's got to be negative. So I got to figure out. So a little guess and check here. If I do my FOIL, if I do my first, I get 2x times x, that's 2x squared. Got that. My outside gives me -2x, my inside gives me positive x. Well, if you add those together, that gives me -x. So I did it right. Now, if you flip these around, if you put -1 here, +1 there, you're going to get positive 2x and -x. That doesn't give me my -x here. That would be positive 1x. Okay, so let's do that same idea. The only factors of sine squared are sine x and 2 sine x. So, there. Oh, sorry. I'm not done with that yet. Sorry. And then 1 and negative 1, same idea here, plus 1, negative 1. And we're done. The last one, number 7, I got magic versus AC written down, and that's because we kind of got two different thoughts here. Both of them start by doing 5 times 6. That gives us negative 30. So we say, okay, what times what makes negative 30, but also adds up to negative 7. So it's negative 10 and 3. So the AC method takes the first and the last term and leaves them the same. The middle stuff, let's see, 10x and positive 3x. So then we break this down. What can I take out of these two? And that's factored by grouping. Okay. So when you factor by grouping, you take out the 5, you get 5x rather. You're going to get x minus 2. And factor out of this 3. I'm struggling. So I get x minus 2. They match, so my answer is x minus 2 and 5x plus 3. Now, the magic method, kind of the same idea. We're going to take the first part, so 5x, then we rewrite with our second numbers here, so negative 10 and 3. Then I can reduce these by a factor of 5. So then I get x minus 2 and 5x plus 3. And then match. Look at that. So you can do either way. You'll roll on that. Good luck. See you later. Bye.